Exodus chapter 23, verses 1 through 33, Bible study and commentary. Hello, everyone. Today we will study Exodus chapter 23, verses 1 through 33, through the lens of scripture, theology, and spiritual insight. This passage is not merely a collection of laws. It is a revelation of the heart of God, showing us how His people are called to live. 1. Truth and justice, verses 1 through 9. The chapter begins with a powerful command. You shall not raise a false report. God is not only concerned with actions, but also with words, because words shape reality. He continues, you shall not follow a multitude to do evil. Why does God emphasize this? Because human society often defines truth by majority. But in the Hebrew worldview, truth is not determined by people. It is defined by God. God calls His people to stand for truth, even when the majority stands against it. Application today. In a world full of opinions and noise, we must ask, is this aligned with God's truth? 2. Love toward enemies, verses 4 through 5. God commands something unexpected. If you meet your enemy's ox or donkey going astray, you shall surely bring it back. This is not just moral instruction. It reflects the very nature of God. God is just but also merciful. The Hebrew concept of hesed means covenantal love, faithful, enduring, and undeserved. God is teaching His people, treat others the way I have treated you. Application today. How do we respond to those who hurt us? God calls us not to react emotionally, but to respond divinely. 3. Sabbath and trust, verses 10 through 13. God commands rest not only for people, but even for the land. Why? Because Sabbath is not just rest. It is a declaration of faith. It says, God is my provider. In the ancient world, survival depended on constant labor. But God teaches His people to stop, to trust Him. Spiritual meaning? True faith is revealed, not when we work, but when we rest in God. 4. The 3 feasts, verses 14 through 19. God establishes 3 major feasts. The Feast of Unleavened Bread, the Feast of Harvest, the Feast of Ingathering. These feasts are about remembrance. Why is remembrance so important? Because humans forget. When we forget God's works, we begin to complain. But when we remember, we begin to worship. Application today. A thankful heart begins with remembering God's grace. 5. The angel of the Lord, verses 20 through 26. God declares, behold, I send an angel before you. This angel represents the presence and authority of God. And God gives one key command. Obey His voice. This is the essence of faith, not just believing in God, but listening and obeying Him. God promises protection, provision, healing, long life, but there is a condition: obedience. 6. God's timing, verses 27 through 30. God says something very important. I will not drive them out in 1 year. Why? Because sudden blessing, without preparation, leads to destruction. God works gradually. Spiritual principle. God's timing is aligned with your growth. We want instant results, but God desires prepared people. 7. No compromise with idols, verses 31 through 33. God warns, you shall make no covenant with them. Why? Because compromise leads to bondage. In the Hebrew perspective, idols are not just statues. They are anything. We depend on more than God. Money, success, relationships, all can become idols. Conclusion. The heart of God. Exodus 23 teaches us this. God is not just giving rules. He is shaping a people who reflect His character. A people of truth, a people of mercy, a people of trust, a people of obedience, a people without compromise. And most importantly, God leads us, not instantly, but faithfully. Today, God is still speaking. Listen to my voice and follow me. Thank you.